This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the anime Highlander, The Search for Vengeance. Joel.
Yes, Andrew.
Fun fact about my life.
Ooh.
This anime is my first introduction to Highlander and is the only Highlander thing I've seen.
Really?
I've never watched the movies. I never watched the series. I know there's an animated series that we could cover on this show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah?
But up until as of this recording, this is the only Highlander piece of media I have ever consumed in my life.
That's funny. But hey, this movie does a good job of really captivating what's so important about Highlander. And you got awesome fight scenes and rocking out music.
And this is the continuation. We were off last week. We had to deal with some stuff. But this is part of spin-off month. I don't know if it'll be a reoccurring month, but yeah. So, but I mean, technically, this is a spin-off of Highlander, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In a way.
I mean, it's one of many. Honestly.
It's one of many, but this is the anime version, and I feel like this is the perfect, because we've been almost exclusively doing movies, like animated movies, and sure, we're a month early from anime, but there's no shortage of obscure animes that we could cover for the month of May.
No. Big catalog there.
Oh, yeah. I was going to try to do the intro in Japanese in a Scottish accent.
It worked.
I will now. We did it in the extended audio, but yes, I will now attempt number 2 to say this week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the Highlander anime in Japanese with a Scottish accent.
You got this.
Okay. I listened to the recording one more time just to see.
You got this. You got
this. Cartoon Dumpster Dive de Wahama de Anime o Tagamasi Lattes and Losses. That was better than the first one.
I think so.
To hear the first one, go pay for our Patreon.
Just
to get the extended to get to the extended audio episodes. They add nothing, but entertainment.
Yes.
What a sales pitch. Anywho, Joel.
Yes.
How did this get made?
So, 2007, that's when this film was released.
I graduated high school.
I know. You're 1 year older than me. I graduated in 2008. It was directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri.
Oh, this is going to be the entire month of May.
I gotta find some with some easy names. He was behind Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust for the anime fans out there. Andrew, you might know of Vampire Hunter D.
I did. I watched one of them.
Yep. Yeah, that was
they come out in movies, right?
Yeah, that was like one of those big ones that you would always see up at like FYE, early day in the mall.
I was like, I know they used to come on Adult Swim around Halloween, and that's usually how I watched them.
And then it was written by David Abramowitz. Yep.
Not bad.
He was the writer for Highlander the series, Highlander the Raven, and Highlander the Source. So he knew his Highlander stuff.
He knew his Highlander. Okay.
Joint venture between Imagi Animation Studios and Madhouse Studios. Madhouse was behind the actual animation of it, while Imagi Animation, sorry about that, they provided the script and the soundtrack.
Nice. It's a good soundtrack. If we were to do a rate that theme song, I guess we should do a rate that soundtrack. I would give this like a solid 7 or an 8.
Oh yeah. It's, to me, Highlander has always been just good rock music for the most part.
Well, the original movie's got Queen, right?
Yeah, Princess of the Universe. Here we are.
Hey, when we first met, you used to break out into song of that song.
Dude,
every once in a while.
That song is fantastic. So I found this. It says that in August 2004, it was announced that Imagi Animation Studios and Dave Panzer Production, who did the OG movie, were developing an animated Highlander feature with Madhouse producing it. And this was all because a group of producers who love the Highlander series wanted to see this brought to an anime style.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be a tie-in to the Highlander the series show. And it was supposed to actually include the cast from the show as voice actors. But during pre-production, the producers, for whatever reason, changed their mind and just went a completely different direction with the whole project. And they basically cut out all of the voice actors from Highlander the series, but they kept Jim Barnes in there.
Yeah, he provides the voice of Doc.
Yeah. But that's really it, Andrew, with the creation. Not too much on it for this week.
It was dedicated to William N. Panzer, who died in 2007 and is a co-owner of the, Davis Panzer Incorporated, which was the company that created the franchise that we know and love today.
There can only be one.
You think, I guess, whoever Davis is, who is a part of Davis Panzer Incorporated, decapitated William N. Panzer.
I like to think it was his funeral. He's up there like speaking at his funeral, and he's like, Panzer wanted me to do this. I was very reluctant, but it was his final wish, and just goes down there like decapitates him, just screams, there can only be one. Then a lightning bolt hits him, and they're like, oh my god, these guys, the Highlanders.
Just makes me, I know we do it every time, but Highland, like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, where they try to kill, we're gonna make Happy Time Harry a Highlander. He goes, you can't become a Highlander, you have to be born a Highlander.
You can't become one. Oh, but that's it, Andrew. If you want, hit us with the voice actors.
So the voice cast for Highlander, The Search for Vengeance, is Alistair Abel is Colin McLeod. Debbie Mae West is Delilah. Nolan North is Marcus Octavius. Scott McNeil is Armagon. Oogie Banks is Joe. Jans Yod is Kayla. And Jim Byers is Doc.
Okay.
For their other works, we have Alistair Abel is Mariachi Salsa.
Ooh.
in the movie Sausage Party.
Oh.
Debbie Mae West is Tetsuya, the fifth Hokage in Naruto Shippuden.
Naruto.
I'm assuming the dub. Nolan North is Nathan Drake in the Uncharted games.
Okay.
Scott
Never played them.
McNeil is Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z.
My boy.
Oogie Banks is Luke Cage in Ultimate Spider-Man, the TV series.
Okay.
Janice Jod is Sarah in Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Ooh.
And finally, Jim Barnes is Joe Dawson in the Highlander series.
Now,
So,
Sarah in Ed, Edd n Eddy. Was that Ed's younger sister, or was that one of the Kinka sisters?
that was Ed's younger sister.
Okay. All right.
So, right off the bat, going back and watching this movie ruled.
Oh, yeah.
A few trivia about this.
Okay.
The dub is actually the more appropriate way to watch this film because the characters' lips were animated for the English dub and not the Japanese one.
Ooh.
So, how about that? The American version of the film is shorter than the Japanese version. Producer Galen Walker said in an interview that about 7 or 8 scenes were cut just for timing and just for the pace of the story, and admittedly that director Yoshi Karawaji was unhappy with the cuts. An opening exposition text, which is traditional for Highlander films, was also added to the American version.
Huh. Do we have any idea of what the scenes were that they cut?
I've never seen the Japanese version. I have a DVD of it somewhere, but I watched this for free on YouTube,
Yeah.
which I thought was crazy because it's got tits in this.
All in it. Not really all in it, but
So,
yeah.
Opening, our boy Colin goes and fights one of the coolest guys with a sword to ever exist in sworddom.
What? It's just a chainsaw.
Although, admittedly, he had a really bad technique. He has a chainsaw sword, and he uses it to like
Launch
slide
himself.
in the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you gonna block with? Because he's
It's-
killed immediately.
I'll go and tell you that move though. That move is dope.
Oh no, it looks great. It's
It looks
definitely a
so
flashy
cool.
move. It got him killed big
Yeah.
time, but
Worth it.
he went out in style.
That would be
So,
better. He gets his
I
head
don't
cut
know how
off.
accurate this is to Highlander, the show, the movie, but basically it's the Roman Marcus versus Colin MacLeod, the Scotsman.
Yeah.
They're about to go to war with Rome, and his wife is just like, I love you, don't go. And he goes, I gotta go. And so she drugs him, and she's like, she goes to the Roman Empire, and he's like, what do you have to offer? By the way, Marcus Octavius looks suspiciously like a buff Griffith.
Yes,
from
he
Berserk.
does.
I was just like, this is just creatine Griffith.
That's it. Yep. That's all it is.
And he kind of acts like him, too.
Something about
he's
those
less,
guys.
He's less rapey. Still rapey.
But just slightly less.
Slightly less. Probably because he doesn't technically rape a woman on screen to the point where her brain breaks, which is good. That shouldn't be in a lot of films. It shouldn't be in a lot of. It should only be in Berserk.
It's the difference
Never
between
be in anything else.
It's a difference between Harvey Weinstein and Louis C.K.
There you go. Well, I don't think Louis C.K. is that bad, but
I
don't
mean,
know.
but that's what I'm saying. It's not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know the difference there. He's
There's a
still
difference
gonna. He's still gonna violate you in some way.
Yeah, it's just over the phone. Jacking off over the phone versus
You're just gonna have to
jacking
see
off
his
in
penis.
front of you into a potted plant. I guess if you pick your poison, a gun to your head, which one would you prefer? I'm guessing the gun to your head to fire, but well, who knows? So anyway, she's like, I offer you my body. And he's like, ooh, which is weird for a Roman to want a woman.
Ooh,
just saying.
Saucy.
So he tries to bang her and he goes, well, I'm still gonna, kill everyone. So he stabs her and then, oh, by the way, I fucked up. His wife is Moya at this point. But yeah,
Okay.
So in true Roman fashion, she is crucified and then they go and they kill her. Oh yeah, no, I remember what it was. Colin goes, I swear. And then he pauses and then she dies and he goes, to never stop to seek vengeance. Like, that's not what she wanted you to say, Colin. What a man thing to do. To just wait till she dies to say the rest of his promise.
Hey, I don't know. I might be thirsty for vengeance myself.
I mean, I definitely would be too. He goes and he tries to kill Octavius. He fails spectacularly.
Oh, of course. He's not a Highlander yet.
No. But then he gets his wig split, and he ends up on Stonehenge. Stonehenge is holy ground, so Octavius is like, I didn't realize. I don't know if this is true for like regular Highlander, but I didn't realize they couldn't kill anyone on holy ground. I thought it was like, if you're a Highlander and they're a Highlander, and you go to a church, like if one of them runs into a church, you're like, okay. But I thought if it was just like a guy, you'd be like, no, I'm killing the shit out of you. But nope. Octavius can't. He's like, okay, holy ground, you're lucky. Which, by the way, Colin is pretty goddamn lucky this entire movie because he gets his ass kicked a lot. So then that's when we meet the druid. The druid's like, hey, congratulations, you're an immortal. And he's like, I'm going to fucking kill Octavius. And the druid's like, you're dumb as fuck. And keeps that same mindset for about the entire movie. And then we fast forward to the future of good old New York City that has a lot of, watching this movie in a post-COVID world, I was like, this is pretty COVID adjacent. A disease has pretty much wiped out just fucked up everybody. Yep. And the rich people live in a tower and they're all safe, and the poor people live in the sewer from fear of the secret police.
Will they belong? Sewer people.
And they're, unlike the COVID crisis of 2020, they were desperate for vaccines.
Yep. And, basically robbing dead bodies
robbing dead bodies. And that's when we meet Colin again, who has lost his accent. And when they do that, so they do a montage later, and it got me curious, at what point in history do you think he lost his accent? And I want to say it was probably around when they were at the Revolutionary War.
Maybe. If he had, if that was like the first time he kind of went away from Ireland, I mean, like some people, you can lose an accent within 10, 20 years?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. My dad, I don't think my dad has too bad of a Canadian accent.
At least I know people who can flip it almost.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, which I think is interesting.
So basically, Colin ends up in New York somehow, unaccented. And he's like, he's just passing through. Very Rambo-esque. Red bandana and all.
Yeah.
And so
the Scottish Rambo.
They
drew first blood. Not me.
They drew first blood, laddie. Not me. So, it's, he meets Delilah, who is a prostitute. She's just fucking to survive.
Yep.
which
looks a lot like someone else, though.
looks like someone else we might know. And then, she's like, hey, I want to bang you for free because you saved me from a fat guy who was like, I got money. Why don't you suck my fat cock? Or whatever he says. And she refuses. And basically Colin doesn't. He's like, I'm not. He basically is like, I just want to drink this whiskey. Could you go away? But then she says something like, all you need is me, which is what his wife said.
Oh, no.
And he's like, he flashes back to his wife. And then he's like, what did you say? But then he goes off and he walks off. And, I don't think he hits her.
No.
Does he? Oh, no. Yeah.
Like,
but then, later on, he's walking through the streets in New York and he sees Octavius again. He's like, that motherfucker. And he grabs a meter and chucks it. And Delilah's like, holy shit, this guy's strong. We can use him to go get the vaccines. And he's like, Colin's basically like, I don't care how we get into this building or why you want to come into. But once you're in, you do whatever you want, and I will do whatever I want.
That man's got a single focus on mind.
That man has got the world's strongest hate boner. And so,
held on to it for 400 years.
Like 2,000
Oh,
years.
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2,000 years.
2,000 years. And so it's funny because apparently the druid has just been shit talking him the whole time. And my favorite part is when he's going up the elevator to fight Octavius for who knows how many times. He goes, you must love getting your ass kicked because you seem to get it a lot. And during the ride of the elevator, that's when we see the montage. And it's like, it goes, he had another wife when he became Colin McLeod. Yeah. And this was like the first time he came back to life. And they're like, he's our demon. And and the chief of Clan McLeod was like, he's not a demon. We are going to kick him out though. But he fought with us. So whatever he is, he's Clan McLeod. And he has to leave. And then he's in Shogun Samurai. And Octavius is just talking shit. Octavius just wants to build the Roman Empire again.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, there's a Japanese woman that he saved at one point. Forgot about that. She takes the role of scantily clad villain who says just the dumbest shit at all times. I'm just like, who wrote this woman's dialogue? At one point, it's at the final climax later in the movie. But she says, I don't know whether to kill you or to do you. And I'm just like, who are you saying this to? But anyway.
Hey, big boy, ever banged a whole bachelor at party before?
But so, he goes from there, and then then it's just fun. I find it super funny that Octavius has been on the wrong side of history every time they fought. So he sided with the British. So with Colin McLeod, with the McLeod clan, I don't really know. And with the samurai part, I don't really know. But during the Revolutionary War, he sided with the British Empire. During World War I, he was with Germany. World War II, he was with Germany again. I'm just like, I just thought it would be funny if at least one time Colin was on the wrong side of history, because he's like, I don't care about dead Jews. I'm coming for you, Octavius.
I don't care. Whoever gets in my way.
But it makes more sense that Octavius would be a Nazi because, like, he seems very fashion forward, and I don't think Colin would really care.
That's how we determine it. Is how fashion forward are you?
I mean, most evil people care about how they look. Have you ever noticed that? Evil people really care about their appearance.
Kim Kardashian.
At least. I mean, she is probably evil. I don't know how, but probably.
Can't get that much money without being evil.
No, you can't. No, we're staunch believers here at Cartoon Dumpster Dive. You can't become a billionaire without being evil. That's why everyone you get that bee comes at a cost. I mean, shudder to think what it might be.
That's why Dr. Evil wanted, what, $1 billion?
Whatever, yeah. So, Colin falls into churches. Our buildings just collapse around him because he loses every single fight up until the very end.
What have you been doing for the past 2,000 years?
Octavius even talks shit to him. He goes, have you learned how to do anything except try to kill me? He goes, I know how to write poetry in like 7 different languages. I can paint like Rembrandt. I can play the piano like, he doesn't say Beethoven, but I'm going to say Beethoven because I don't remember who he said. And he's just like, what do you have? A hate boner for me. And nothing else.
So he spent all that time learning all these different languages and can still beat Colin's ass.
Colin, he probably still trained to fight.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's all Colin's been focusing on is gotta get stronger, gotta get better so I can kill this MF.
I guess so, but still, Also, if Octavius really didn't want to die, why didn't he just become a evangelical church leader? That way he's constantly on holy ground. He's safe.
Dude, he could have like pretended to kill himself, come back from the dead and been like, I'm the next Messiah or whatever. There you go.
That's
Everybody
true.
would have been like,
also true.
Yep, we're going to follow this man. And there you go. Holy ground. Get on holy ground. Stay on there. You'll live forever.
We also learn in the movie that the virus is fabricated. And depending on what conspiracy theories you believe in, another analogy to COVID.
Lab leak. I don't think it was a lab leak. I think they just purposely spread it.
Well, I know in this one they did.
Yeah, this one they was just
Highlander.
Like,
there's no question about it.
Yeah,
there's no bones about it. They're like, no, we did that to kill you.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know why the professor was so upfront about it. And then they're like, now we got this super virus that's ready. It's automatic death once it hits the air.
It's called Super AIDS. You guys ain't gonna live through this one.
It's called COVID Plus. You're gonna hate it.
It's COVID New Game Plus.
There's not a cloth mask in the world that'll save you this time. So then also we learn that Delilah. Is it Delilah? Fuck, I don't remember. Anyway, the hooker, it's her and also the other lady from Clan MacLeod. They've all just been Moya reincarnated. And then at the big fight, he tries to do what his wife did to him in 2,000 years ago, trap him in there. And it doesn't work. And then she's got the coolest immortal kill because the little other scantily clad woman, who I don't think has a name, the entire
just
movie.
Scantily clad woman too.
She shoves her grenade. She's like, "You're gonna die here," and she goes, "Well, I'm gonna take you with me," and shoves a grenade in her face, like in her mouth.
Sweet.
And I was like, "That fucking awesome." And then Colin finally wins against Octavius, which apparently the quickening stops the virus, so he saves quite a bit of people. And that's pretty much the movie in a nutshell. Joe is a little streetwise boy that helps them through it. He goes, "I'm Joe, and I know." Shit like that.
Joe knows. Come to Joe.
It's a good movie. I also think that more Highlanders, maybe it's against the rules that you can't become a preacher, because isn't that the whole, in the movies, the whole thing is like, you gotta become the one, right?
Yeah. My
so there's
understanding, yes.
Yeah, there's no like hiding out, which I guess makes more sense. But for this one, it's just two fucking guys
hating one another.
Hating. Well, actually, I don't think Octavius really hates Colin. I think he just finds Octavius him to be a nuisance.
I was about to say, I feel like Octavius like forgets about him. It's just like, oh, it's you again.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, what's it been like 5? Still mad? Okay, we're doing this.
All right, let's go.
Oh yeah, and he talks shit the whole time. I just remember the one where it's like World War II, I think, and they're on top of the plane, and he's like, "That's a nice sword. You know, it's a samurai sword. You know, a barbarian like you wouldn't even fucking know how to use it." And he's like, "Damn,
you peasant, you."
And like when they land in the church, all they can do is talk to each other, because they learn very quickly that God is not a fan of Highlanders fighting on holy ground.
How dare you?
I assume it's God, because he gets struck by lightning on the first time he does it. Even raising his sword, he was just like,
So this is a question I've always had about Highlander.
Okay, let's do it.
There can only be one.
Right.
What happens when there is only one left?
I think don't they explain that in one of the movies?
Maybe they did. We could
do a live action landfill of the first Highlander, because I've never seen it.
I've seen it like twice in my whole life, and it was probably 20 years ago.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do a bonus episode of live action landfill Highlander.
I like it.
And Joel, I believe it's time. We've pretty much wrapped up the movie, as well as our audience has come to expect me wrapping up a movie. But it's now time to move to your new reoccurring segment, Reviews That Are the One, and Reviews That Have Fallen to Vengeance.
Oh, good one, Andrew.
I was going to say reviews that are super high and reviews that are the 1 star, but then I thought that sounded stupid, so I went with another stupid one.
All right. So this is sitting at a 6.7 out of 10, 4.1K ratings on it. Could not find a 1-star review, Andrew.
That makes sense. This movie's pretty great. And it was really positively received during its time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still a pretty great anime. Like, it's entertaining, honestly. So this is the shortest review I could find, titled How It Should Be Done. I watched this movie more than any of the live action movies or shows. Has great action scenes, and the animation is just beautiful as expected from manga releases. They should have done more in this form. If you enjoyed Vampire Hunter D or Ninja Scroll, then you definitely will enjoy this. And that's it.
There you go. I know that Chris Wyatt awarded it an 8 out of 10, saying favorable in general to the live-action Highlander sequels, and also referred to it as a violent, dramatic, sexy, and actually smart.
Ooh.
I wouldn't go with smart, because Colin McLeod in the anime may be one of the dumbest human beings alive. And if you're it's kind of refreshing to see a dumb immortal.
I know, right? You always see the immortals.
They're always like Octavius or Adam Savage, where it's like smart, unstoppable. But it's like, what have you done? Oh, I've learned nothing.
I just want to
It took
kill.
him 2,000 years to learn basically a sitcom level lesson.
What does
appreciate what you have?
What does he do now? Now that he killed him,
He just waits for his wife to get reincarnated.
I mean,
basically it. Because she get blowed up. And that's going to be weird because he's going to have to like know his wife as a baby.
If he finds her, then.
If he finds her, yeah, but that's going to be weird. That's a weird thing to.
Let's just hope that he finds her eventually, like he did in this movie. Finds her again when she is
as
an
adult. Because the age gap is already going to be wild.
He will
whatever age. Yeah,
he will have to find her.
2,000. Yeah.
But that will go by in a blink in an eye to him.
Yeah, but she'll just get reincarnated again.
I know. But hey, when you've lived 2,000 years, what's another 30?
All right, Omni-Man. Well, I believe that wraps up Highlander, The Search for Vengeance. If you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have the $5 tier. That gets you stickers, pins, and possibly more mailed to your door. I have stamps now, so it won't take as long as the last time. If you have a request, go to cartoondumpsterdive.com. There you can send a request, or you can go to our store and get a shirt that'll take a super long time to get to you, unfortunately. We have a Twitter and Blue Sky, both Cartoon DD. We are Cartoon Dumpster Dive on all other social media platforms. And as always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice. It always helps the show. And I hope you achieve your vengeful goals this week.
There we go. Nice. Good message.
Have a good one.
See you. I thought you was gonna go, if you don't leave us a 5-star review, then I'll search for vengeance will begin. Our search of vengeance will begin until we get that 5-star review.
This has been a Lughole podcast.